Welcome to Rebooking, the series where I look at horribly booked WWE storylines and wrestlers and make up a scenario about how I would do them. Today, we will be talking about how I would have booked Seth Rollins' 2019 Universal Championship reign. Seth Rollins was the biggest superstar in 2019, along with his now fiancée Becky Lynch. Defeating Brock Lesnar at Wrestlemania 32, Seth Rollins named himself the Beast Slayer and made the Universal title finally looks prestigious. However, that soon came to an end when Brock Lesnar of all people cashed in the MITB briefcase and became the champion at Extreme Rules. Seth did win back the title at SummerSlam, but then had just a few defenses before this happened. Alrighty, my turn. So we start at WrestleMania 35. We keep it exactly like it was. Seth beats Lesnar and crowns himself the Beast Slayer. He claims that anyone that deserves a shot at the title will get an opportunity, and unlike Lesnar, he will be a fighting champion day in and day out. Next Raw, a new #1 contender is chosen, and similar to real life, it is AJ Styles. The match is made for Money in the Bank. Seth does win the match clean. I would not change much about the match or the pay-per-view. Just one thing, Lesnar does not return and win the briefcase. Rather, I would have Finn Balor win the briefcase. This is because one of my goals with this booking is to create new stars. Putting over Balor and a couple of underutilized stars could be great. Next pay-per-view is Super Showdown, and Seth's new opponent is Andrade. He's also a new superstar that a lot of people compare to Eddie Guerrero, and giving him a title shot could elevate him. Also, instead of Andrade, Corbin challenges the Demon for the Intercontinental Championship. At the pay-per-view, Andrade puts up a valiant effort. Zelina even distracts the ref to help him, but finally Seth hits a stomp to pick up a win. After that, I would keep the next two pay-per-views same. At Stomping Grounds, Seth faces Corbin, and at Extreme Rules, Seth and Becky face Corbin and Evans in a winning team-takes-all match. Same matches, same result, except that Lesnar does not cash in and walk away with the championship. Next up is the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. This has to be a match that people want to watch, and preferably an opponent Seth has had a history with. Hence, I choose Roman Reigns. Reigns and Rollins have been on good terms for a few months, but this is a match to see who's a better wrestler. They finally have a hard-hitting bout at SummerSlam, but Rollins puts out Reigns after hitting him with 2 stomps. After this is Clash of Champions. For Seth's opponent, I chose Robert Roode because, A, he's a pretty good grappler. B, he's not had a good spot ever since he's debuted on the main roster, and I am trying to put over underutilized wrestlers. And C, he's also the tag team champion, hence the name of the pay-per-view Clash of Champions. Of course, Rollins wins. But after the match, Lesnar returns and attacks Rollins. The night ends with Lesnar holding the title up high while Rollins is down. At Hell in a Cell, Brock Lesnar challenges Rollins to a Hell in a Cell match for the Universal Championship. I am bringing Lesnar vs Rollins to Hell in a Cell from SummerSlam because I want to avoid this monstrosity. Of course, Rollins beats Lesnar to retain. This would be Rollins' first clean win against the former MMA fighter. Speaking of former MMA fighter, next opponent for Rollins is Bobby Lashley at Crown Jewel. This would be Lashley's first shot at the Universal Championship ever since his return. This would also be a good showing of brute strength of Lashley. However, Rollins outwrestles him to retain. For Survivor Series, a great match would be Kofi vs Rollins. In this booking, Lesnar was feuding with Rollins, which allows Kofi to retain his championship all the way to Survivor Series. On the day of the match, as they were in the ring, Balor comes out with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and cashes it in. The match is now a triple threat, and if Balor wins, he wins the championship of whichever champion he pins or makes tap out in the end. Balor pins Rollins to finally win the Universal Championship again. They have a rematch at TLC, but Balor retains. After this, The Fiend attacks Rollins, finally starting their feud. Side note, The Fiend has feuds with people with whom he has had history with. First, he feuds with Randy Orton, because Randy destroyed the Wyatt family. This lasts a couple of months. Then, he attacks Strowman, because Wyatt feels Strowman isn't grateful to Bray. After this, he starts his feud with Rollins. And finally, he faces Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania 36. And, that is it. That is how I would book Seth Rollins' Universal title reign in 2019. Let me know if you enjoyed it and what to rebook next in the comment section below. Be sure to like, share and subscribe, that will help out the channel a lot. Thanks again, see you in the next one.